Transitions. Hey friends, how's it going? Welcome to the live show. We're so happy to have you here and stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, sit down. I'm going to weave you a tale.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
And I'm going to pass it to Greg.
Just throw me under the bus. What's going on, everybody? This is the Technically Speaking live show. Back again. Each week, Scott and I get together and talk about the week's happenings in tech and pretty much anything else that interests us.
Yep.
This week, kind of a special week because I didn't do anything for the show. Scott
Literally
did it
nothing.
all.
I
You
did it all. I'm
the
going to
notes.
hold the show
all
in
by
the
himself.
palm of my hand.
Yes.
I have been begging and pleading out on the Twitters, out on the Instagrams, not Google Plus, rest in peace,
Okay,
pouring
fair.
out for the homies,
No, don't.
that I would love to get 20 concurrent viewers on this live stream.
We're 50% to that goal.
50% to the goal.
Yeah.
It's completely arbitrary. It means
Yeah.
nothing. We love the folks that always just show up. However, I don't know why I went and hit the number 20.
I don't know either.
It's completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
I have no reason to why. It's not like I want 50 people in my live stream. We usually get anywhere between 15 and 19. I think the
Yeah.
most we've ever had is 19. I'd love to get 20.
Yeah.
Just better it by one.
Because why not?
Because goals.
So, first of all, a big shout out and a big thank you to all of our initial viewers. We have Miss Sheila out there in the comments, which we always love and appreciate seeing you. It's nice to see you in the comments again. We haven't seen you in a little while.
Not gonna
we
say
have
anything.
Mr. Mayor himself. We have Stats himself checking in. And, got a couple new ones. We got Larry out in the audience and Andrew Hatchett himself.
Really?
So,
I
yeah.
can bring in 4 other accounts if you'd like.
That'll be 17. Actually, it'll be like...
I mean, I'm
maybe
not
almost 18.
saying, but I'm saying.
So, yeah. So,
We're looking crispy right
welcome
now.
every...
Tell you that right. We're looking
Okay.
crispy!
Yeah. Happy about that. And also, I think I finally figured out all the audio interference problems that I've been having. So I'm literally, look, this last week has been a challenge. If you notice, we didn't have a video on Sunday. Why? It was my week, and no one ever expects a video on my week for Sunday video. But real talk, I spent probably 4 or 5 days trying to record the exact same video over and over again.
You did.
And the audio was always terrible, and I couldn't
Awful.
figure it out. And I've sort of figured out some of the problems. And then just before we went live, combination of technological fixes and a new microphone, we should sound
Way
sound
better.
awesome.
So make a comment if we sound better. And if the answer is yes, we sound better,
yeah.
it's my microphone.
Hey, we have Mr. Daniel Baldry. Hello there, gents, from Australia. From down under.
From
That's a terrible
Oh,
Australian accent.
yeah.
Please
From
don't
down
correct me.
under. Hello.
We love our overseas
So,
folks. And
Overseas,
and
that's Australia. That's a continent.
that's
Not just overseas. That is a continent, sir.
He's a whole planet
It
away.
is not a whole planet away.
He's the opposite end of the planet. How much more whole
He
planet
is
do you want
in
to get?
Australia. Australia.
Australia. Good lord. And Justin,
Lord.
whatever, Justin, you don't count. You're not real people.
Second
Anyway,
account. Account number 2. Bring in all the accounts.
hold on.
Bring them all in.
I gotta bring up the notes because I'm so poorly prepared for this. I don't even have your show notes.
Where can I get a Pixel 3 with no contract?
Bruh.
The Google store.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's store.
Oh, matter of fact, that's where I got mine from. Yeah.
Store.google.com.
Yep.
Store.google.com. What was that?
Making
like a
sure
moose.
I was like, making sure I'm on the right.
Store.google.com.
Did you clean up the show notes?
No.
They look different. I don't remember.
Do
looking
they?
Like this. Sure. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Anyway, what are you gonna start with, man?
I'm going to start with one of the most popular videos on our channel currently is the Bose Sport Free versus
Fact.
the Apple AirPods.
The video's been blown up, man.
And I am getting roasted in the comments.
Yeah, you
I
are.
am getting just torched in the comments. I've been called fat
Yep.
and stupid.
Yep.
And someone actually made a comment today that basically was like, well, you don't go to the gym. And I'm like, geez. That cuts me to the core. Like, if you went to the gym, you would know that AirPods don't work in the gym. That's a lie. AirPods work in the gym. Now, just because I don't go to the gym that often, and I do, thank you, sir, doesn't mean the AirPods are bad to use in the gym.
Well,
They're
first
not.
of all, I just love I love the premise that because you don't go to the gym, you clearly have no idea what you're talking about in terms of subjective things like whether or not headphones fit in your ears. You know, because everybody's ears are exactly the same.
Right. And I
But-
think I even made the comment, hey, it's subjective, in the video, and there are people coming to my rescue in that,
for sure.
that instance, so I really, really appreciate it. But the rumor on the street, AirPod 2 are coming out first quarter, second quarter, first half of 2019. And if they're anything like the Apple Series 4 watch, they are going to make a fairly significant impact in the health space.
So, if it's anything like the Apple Series 4 watch, in what way?
So the Apple Series,
just from the biometric stuff, like
right?
You're saying,
So the Apple Series 4 had the biometric, where the American Heart Association came and said, "We're certifying this. You can use it for EKG and things like that." I'm gonna bet that because it was just raved about everywhere how well the Apple Watch was taken because of a health consideration, that they're really going to double down on all that stuff in the AirPods. I would not be surprised to see like heart rate monitor in the ears or temperature.
Okay, the problem with the heart rate monitor is, which they've alluded to with previous generations of the watch, is that some of the biometric gathering stuff, specifically heart rate monitor, kills the battery life. So,
are you talking about kills the battery life in the watch?
In the watch, which the same
you don't
thing
keep
would
it on
apply.
all the time.
No, I get that, but the same thing applies for the AirPods. So then it becomes would you want to introduce that into a form factor that already has a battery life, not a battery life problem, because the AirPods have a really good solution for it, which is they're using low
charge,
they're using low power Bluetooth as it is. It's got a really nice 15-minute recharge, and it's got the external battery, all that kind of good stuff.
I'm telling you right now that I don't think they're going to up the game. I think we'll see out of AirPods, calling it here.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be much more than the 5 hours. I think you'll probably see 6.5, 7 hours max. And they're going to double down on the health information.
I
can tell you right now, if you get 6 or 7 hours max out of AirPods,
that's a big deal.
That's going to just torch all the wireless. Like, they were already pretty far ahead of almost all the other wireless earbuds out there. You get 6 or 7 hours, now you're starting to set, massive precedents, because some of the best ones, and I've reviewed a ton, 5 hours is typically the really good mix. You get 5 hours, that's a good bit.
Well, and it seems like we're probably running up to physical limitations with form factor.
Yeah.
Like the battery life, batteries are only so good. Like the battery technology, even the best that we have, is only going to give you so many hours. Plus, there's just a certain amount of, power draw that goes into wireless communication, plus powering the speakers, everything else. And now, if you're going to add biometrics on top of that, so first of all, I have two questions. What biometric information do you think they could gather from being in ear?
Fall what's it called? Fall detection?
Sure. Now, the caveat to all of this is, would they duplicate that effort in the AirPods versus doing something completely different?
I mean, they could.
Because you're talking so far, the two things that you've mentioned, fall detection and the heart rate sensor, that's all stuff that's in the Apple Series Watch, Apple 4.
But I don't have the ability.
Right,
I don't have the ability to use the Apple Watch because I don't use an Apple phone.
Yeah.
But I wholeheartedly admit to using the AirPods all the time. So I would be a person that would use, I could use that.
Yeah.
If I could somehow get the app on my Android phone. See, now we're getting into the problem. I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth.
Yeah.
Do I have to live in the ecosystem? Blood sugar, that's a good call out, Larry. Blood sugar.
Can you do that from the ear? That would be interesting.
I don't know. I know you can do it from the eyes because Google has the glucose contact.
Yeah. Okay.
I definitely know that you can do that. All I'm saying is I don't know what it is, but I bet you they double down on the health stuff. If they can give me better battery, better sound. I mean, let's be real, they're not the greatest sounding headphones, but they're not bad. I mean,
I agree,
they're fine.
I'm curious as to about how much better you can make the sound quality in a speaker that size. Now, if anyone can do it,
it's Apple.
It's going to be Apple.
I'm telling you right now, I'm buying them.
Wow. Straight up. Yeah, no question.
No question.
Day one?
Day one.
Okay.
I will pre-order.
There you go. Heard it first.
I will pre-order the AirPod 2, and I will compare them to the AirPod 1s, and I'll compare them to the Pixel Buds, and all these other headphones that I've already compared them to, but definitely still one of my favorites. Call me an Apple fanboy, I don't care.
Well, I mean,
that's what people say.
If it quacks like a duck.
If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's clearly a dog.
So first of all, we got to say hello to Mr. Michael Daniels, who was kind enough to make a donation to our show, which he does way too often.
You really
too
do,
good
man.
to us, man.
You really are.
And of course, please join us for the game show one week. Look, you got me interested now. I used to love Hollywood Squares when I was growing up. As a kid, I used to watch Hollywood Squares all the time. I didn't understand it, but it was just fun to see, other Hollywood celebrities that even I kind of sort of recognized on that show, answering questions, whatever. But he's got a Hollywood Squares type of show. Okay.
All right, now you
piqued
got
my
me.
interest, man.
You got me.
You've piqued my interest.
Okay.
Also, Everyday Dads out there. Hey, man, what's going on? Appreciate you as always. And
Everyday Dad, I'm going to have to hit you up on the side as it relates to the road filmmaker.
Oh, that's the one
Really?
thing I forgot to turn off
Really?
the sump.
Amateur hour. Technically, T joining us in the house.
That also makes a guest appearance during my video.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Technically, T,
It's been-
welcome to the house. Technically, T has a huge bit of filming he has this weekend. If you follow
Yeah.
his Twitter, he has a lot of stuff he's going to be recording, so I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, going back to the Everyday Dad, Rode Filmmaker Kit. I just got the Samsung Go mic, lapel mic, wireless.
Not Samsung.
It's not Samsung, Samsung.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Related
interested
to
there.
PacSun.
It's not related to PacSun.
Wow.
PacSun, like
that's a deep cut. I haven't heard that name
Yeah.
in a
Anyway,
long
so, yeah, that was going to be my question. He just answered it. Yeah, I'm going to follow up with you. And T, I'm looking forward to all those videos. Dude, you're
Bro.
on slam. I got to, by the way, I got to figure out, I've been emailing like crazy and crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets. T was telling us like, all my emails hit. I was like, I got nothing but crickets.
I don't know what kind of hustle you're on, man, but wow.
Crickets for
Yeah.
me. Woo.
So you may have heard, or if you haven't, you will hear soon that there was it's not a data breach, but some of the world's biggest
Might as well call
financial.
it that.
Yeah, well, but there's a different connotation. So, short version is some of the world's biggest financial institutions are now starting to disclose the fact that some of your mortgage information may have just been open and freely accessible on the internet. Whoopsies.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
This is fundamentally different than a data breach. It's not like there was a malicious actor that broke into some computers and stole a bunch of data and posted on the internet. This is, if something bad is going to happen, this is the best case for a bad thing happening. The data obviously is about as sensitive as you can get because it's, full names, addresses, social security numbers, income numbers, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is where you have to be aware of around this time frame is where you have a whole bunch of bad people trying to steal your W-2 tax returns and stuff like that.
Yep.
So short version is what happened. There was a company that had a misconfigured database that was basically just letting information go out to the internet to anybody who knew how to connect to the database and ask it the right type of question. This was uncovered, fortunately, by a white hat, so a good guy hacker, if you will, who reported it through the proper authorities, and the page itself has since been closed down. The database connection has been closed, but it is unknown how long all that information was out there, which is a sensitive point for the both of us, given the industry that we work in.
Yeah, so they're saying Ascension
Yes.
is the name of the company. It's a data and analytics company for the financial industry based out of Texas. They do data analysis and portfolio valuations. They do like paper documents and handwritten notes. They do OCR, which is the optical
character recognition.
boom. It's basically takes a picture of your stuff
Yep.
and then does stuff with it. Highly technical terms.
Let me help you with that. Basically, this is OCR software is stuff that lets you take your handwriting and turn it into text that you can copy paste from a computer. That's how you're able to. It's basically digitizing your handwriting so that you could have a system like this that spews your data out to the internet.
So this is
womp.
from the TechCrunch article, and this is verbatim what it is. If you don't think it's a very big deal, here's how big of a deal it is. From our review, it is clear that the documents pertain to loans and mortgages and other correspondence from several of the major financial and lending institutions dating as far back as 2008, if not longer, including Citi Financial, now defunct leading finance arm of Citigroup, files with HSBC Life Insurance, Wells Fargo, Capital One, other U.S. federal departments, including the Department of Housing and Urban Development. That's a lot of people, and the files contain highly sensitive and personal data points, including names, addresses, birth dates, socials, bank and checking account numbers, as well as details of loan agreements that include sensitive financial information, such as why the person is requesting the loan.
So that is, again, that's about as bad as it gets in terms of financial data leak. However,
Verbad.
the only thing that gives me any comfort at all is the fact that it was basically discovered before the real bad guys got a hold of it. So, man.
I don't know, man. Like, once it's out there, it's out there.
I agree, but the thing is, if nobody's found it yet.
Well, somebody had to find it, and who's to say that, like, it takes just one?
Agreed. For sure it does. And the other thing, too, probably the biggest problem is that because it flew under the radar for so long, there's no way of knowing if anyone has it. So it becomes just a giant question mark. Does anyone have it? Hopefully not. It's a better chance that no one has found it because it's not been like this widely disclosed vulnerability or anything like that. This is just simple misconfiguration. So I don't know, man.
That's tough. Like, it's out there, it's out there. Then again, my social I got taken, and somebody a year and a half ago walked into Best Buy and bought a Mac baller 21-inch iMac. It was nice. It was like $3,000 or something like that, and then went down the street and bought some linoleum from Home Depot.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, they bought flooring.
That's okay.
Just walked out with, casual shopping on a Sunday. I'm getting an iMac and some linoleum.
If you're gonna go to the effort of stealing somebody's identity and then you go and you buy an iMac, why would you then settle for linoleum and not order a boatload of hardwood floors?
I don't ask questions.
Some baller carpet or something.
It didn't show up in front of my house. That's all I know. I wish it would have.
God, whatever.
Anyway, so it's not a data breach. But if you're
it's not a data breach, but it's still really bad.
If you're not on a service, check out Have I Been Pwned?
Yes. So
we talked about that last week, I think.
Have I Been Pwned? You will hear us refer to that often. It's literally have I, so HAVEIBEEN.PWNED.com. Ridiculous sounding webpage, but if you go there and you just type in something like an email address, and the guy is a security researcher, so he's very sensitive to topics like, are you harvesting my data? No, he is not. You don't have to put your information in there if you don't trust them, but it's just your email address, and what he does is he keeps a record of any time your email address has been compromised either by a well-known hack or has been published online in some of these kind of archives that hackers use to distribute all these kind of collected data points that they have. And it'll tell you whether or not your email address has been part of a previously compromised data breach and what that data breach was. So, for example, I think if you put in one of my email addresses, it'll tell you that it was Dropbox was hacked several years back, like 2005 or something like that. And it tells you that. So that's an email address, or that's an account that you need to immediately go and update the password on. And of course, any other account that shares that same password, which, knowing how terrible some people are at password security, it's probably the same password that you use everywhere.
Just share it.
Why not?
It's password 1.
Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done.
Password 1.
Done.
Or password 1 spelled it.
O-N-E with an exclamation point at the end, because they'll never guess that. Literally, my father-in-law, love him to death, made a comment about he was logging into his computer. I was helping him fix his computer one day, and he goes, "Go ahead and log in. Here's my password," and it's a password that is in all caps. And I was like, "Why do you have it in all caps?" He goes, "Because it'll be harder to guess." I'm like, "Look." If you think that if you think that this is still 1990 whatever, where there's a bad guy that's going to sit down in front of your computer and just try password 1, no, password 2, no, your security is too great for me, random internet person. Like, no, that's not how it works anymore. Your password, all caps or otherwise, it's gone like that. It's done.
Evidently, that key right above the shift key, total mystery to hackers. I've never seen a caps lock. I don't know what it is.
It's kryptonite to hackers. I can't believe you figured it out. I would like to know who his spy is. And how he was able to determine
20! Woo! We hit 20! Woo!
Done. I mean, we cheated a little bit.
We totally cheated. I don't even care. Hey, you hit 20. Thank you so much for the 20 people that are watching. Really, it's probably about 3 with a bunch of accounts.
Well, it is what it is.
The caps lock got me. The caps lock's got me.
That's the one. Ironically enough, in your... I guess it's not really ironic. Whatever. Funny enough, in your comments, in your notes here, you have "Good day, sir," all in caps. Shot on iPhone.
Yeah, have you heard about this?
I just heard about it.
You just heard about this. So Apple, they're so smart. Caps locks, they got them.
Yeah.
Got them. Apple wants you to send your best iPhone photos. In return, you get exposure. No money. Just exposure. What they're going to do is
Well then.
they want you to take whatever shot you want.
Yeah.
iPhone photographers are some of the most
Dangerous.
creative
Dangerous.
in the world. Can't wait to see what you submit for our Shot on iPhone challenge. Now I have a bone to pick here. If you go and read the fine print, thank you, Stats, for joining in over on the other side
Yeah,
of the couch.
exactly.
They want you to just bombard them with photos. Great in theory. I love the concept of Shot on iPhone challenge, by the way. I think it's a great idea. It really can start to showcase what the phone can do. I love it. What I don't love,
It's the exposure.
you only get exposure. So the goal, so what happens if they pick 10 winning photos, that photo or one of those photos will be on their billboards, will be in their stores, will be all over the world for like a year. That's the goal. They're going to announce the winner in February. They have the contest going through February 7th. If you win, you get nothing. You get nothing.
You get a pat on the back and an
You get a pat on the back and exposure.
Yeah.
The prize has Apple clearly states no cash value and forbids substitutions or cash redemptions.
Now, what I think is interesting is Apple, the first company to pass $1 trillion worth of valuation. I guess, first of all, I got to talk out of both sides of my mouth. So, on one hand, they're the first company to pass $1 trillion valuation. It feels like they would have a little bit of cash to throw around at some of the people that they select for whatever. It's not like people are asking for a bunch of money, but just some type of like, hey, congrats, thanks, buddy. Here's
an
$1,000
iPhone
or something. Yeah, an iPhone. Holy crap! What a great idea. You get the next iPhone. Done.
Right.
You know why that would doubly help them right now? Because they keep getting murdered in the markets right now because no one's buying iPhones.
They are the most valuable, one of the most valuable companies in the world, and they're going to offer
Nothing.
$0 for them to use the photo from people on their product to sell more iPhones.
Now, the funny part is, not that long ago, when Google announced the Pixel 3, I thought Google handled it very well. To try and sell people on why the Pixel 3 camera was so good, they brought on legitimate photographers. People that put together magazine spreads for Vanity Fair that were all shot using the Pixel 3 camera. That is a great idea. Now, granted, that's Google working with another company. That's a little bit different than what Apple's doing. Apple's trying to reach out to the other consumers. I get that. But just the fact that they want your stuff, and especially since they have such a problem with, number one, an abundance of iPhones that they're not able to get rid of, and number two, what is by almost every analysis out there, a growing problem with people that are not willing to give up existing phones because they work just fine. How are you going to sell more iPhones in the future? I know. We'll at least be able to have a contest and give away some future iPhones to try and generate a little more interest. Something.
I know they feel like they don't have to do it, but my problem is yes, they still own the rights to the photo. The photographers, I should say, they still own the rights to the photo. But you are giving Apple free reign.
Yeah, they'll do whatever they want to.
They'll credit you.
Yeah.
They'll credit you, but you get nothing else. So it reminds me of the Willy Wonka scene. You get nothing. Good day, sir. That's what it reminds me of. That's what you get. You get nothing. I mean, other than but I'm not a photographer, so I could take a bomb photo.
Yeah.
And it just accidentally get chosen. Like, that's actually going to happen.
Sure.
But if that happens, I'm not a photographer.
So the other thing is, I see a lot of comments on, I don't know, like Reddit, Twitter, whatever. But you see a bunch of people that complain, especially people that are in the creative industries, that will post conversations or screenshots of emails or whatever of people that are in the creative space, that are working with other people, like, oh, hey, I heard that you make really cool, whatever, pictures, paintings, something. Can you make a thing for me? Yeah, sure. What do you want? They go through this whole long conversation. Sure, that'll be like $100. And the person on the other end is like, what? $100? No, man, no. And they balk at the idea of paying real money for what is a real, actual good service. Instead, they want to, hey, if you give me this thing, I'll pimp you on my blog. I'll make a video about you.
I'm gonna double down.
Exposure don't pay bills is what I'm saying.
I don't think it's just that. Okay, cool, you get to use things for, media and stuff like that. That is not the basis of why they're doing this. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you why I think They are doing this. It has absolutely zero to do. Apple is a $1 trillion, was a $1 trillion company.
Used to was.
They have no problems with any photographer going, I will gladly just let me take pictures for you, Apple. I will make it look baller.
Yeah.
On some baller cameras, not a phone. And I think phones take great pictures.
Yeah.
Not the point. They are doing something with their AI like Google does with their photos.
Yeah.
And they need a boatload of photos. And by you entering into this challenge, you are giving them free reign to do whatever they want with that photo under the guise of the competition. They are going to take and they're going to do all sorts of analysis to those photos to get data to do something with it. Mark my words, it has nothing to do with advertising. It has everything to do with they want a boatload of photos to do data analysis to.
So, yeah, I'm willing to... Okay, are they going to take the photos and do something else with it? I think that's unquestionable.
Sure.
Now, what I'm skeptical about is whether or not they're going to get enough pictures for that to matter. Because the thing is, what you're talking about is training an artificial intelligence algorithm. You're training a model to do image recognition. To do that, you need an absurd amount of pictures that are all related to the same thing. So if you want to train an algorithm on how to recognize a cat, you need like 500,000 pictures, not that many, 50,000 pictures of a cat, different cats, and the algorithm will figure out all the common features that cats have in common and then be able to go, oh, that's a cat, that's something other than a cat. If you have a contest where the goal is to take a bunch of pictures and send it in to be selected, they're not all going to be of the same thing. So that's going to be useless for the purposes of...
I disagree. I think you're going to find a lot of people are going to go, you know what's an Apple beer board? What's our beer board look like? What's the billboard look like? It's a boatload of people's faces, landscapes, buildings.
Facial recognition.
All of
different
that.
story.
Okay.
Facial recognition, you could probably get something.
Stats has just been dying to say something. Go ahead, Stats.
There's a giant rumor floating around all of the interwebs that the
10-year
10-year
challenge
from
that's the
Facebook
other thing I
is
was
the
gonna
same
say.
thing.
Yeah.
Facial recognition and age progression.
That's so funny. I was gonna mention the exact same thing.
I'm telling you right now, that's exactly what's going on. They're taking that data because I bet you I'm live on air.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Instagram.
You can look all the statistics up you want to. The problem is the mathematics don't work out. Unless you're going to have a bunch of people for this contest that are taking pictures of the same thing, it is not usable for training an AI image recognition model. Facial recognition is the one caveat, but that implies that there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to take pictures of themselves and send it in, and I don't think that is the same.
Currently, if you go to Instagram...
James, beer board, I love it.
If you go to Instagram
Yeah.
and search hashtag shot on iPhone,
Yeah.
6,243,101 posts.
Sure.
Hang on. Shot on iPhone X, shot on iPhone Max, shot on iPhone XR, shot on iPhone Plus, shot on... All of those, hundreds of thousands of posts.
Cool.
That's just Instagram.
Okay, fine.
I'm telling you, you're right. It takes way more than just that
Now,
to train.
Look, 6 million, like 100,000 pictures. Sure, that's great for training an AI, but again, they have to be of a similar subject matter. Now, is the data overall going to be usable? No question. Like they're doing something with it, but it's not going to be this massive boon. Like this is not going to be the thing that lets them catch up to Google.
No, they're not going
By
to
a
catch
long
Google.
shot.
No, but they're going to get things like recognition of flowers, trees, landscapes, dogs, people,
Sure.
hands, like big common things.
It will be a great way, at the very least, to prime a bunch of data sets.
Oh, yeah.
So now they're going to have a bunch of, like, if the threshold to make the algorithm work is 100,000 pictures, they might get 50,000 of a whole bunch of things, and now they're halfway there. They need 50,000 more images, and now they've not equalized the game with Google, but they've gone a long way.
The majority of
Really
the
hard
pictures,
not to
so I'm
say.
just like, yeah, I know, right? Like I'm looking, like the majority of the pictures I'm looking on Instagram right now, the majority of the pictures are landscapes, leaves,
Yes.
dogs, the
Yes.
sky, flowers, trees, water, rocks,
Yeah.
oatmeal,
It's
food.
general
I guess.
landscape related stuff
I
makes
would think
sense.
shot Shot on iPhone selfies would be a big.
Shot on iPhone is going to be huge. I'm telling you, they're going to take the whole purpose of this is a data grab. That is, I'm putting my hat, I'm putting my hand down. It is a data grab for something. To your point, it may not necessarily be as big
not
as
enough,
not as big as I'm making
agree
it.
with you. I think
It is a data grab, unequivocally.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I'm curious as to what their play is, because I mean, Google has such a lock on so much AI, and I almost wonder if Apple is now competing more with the Facebook, Instagram stuff, where it's more of visual recognition, because that's an area Google still has a massive head start there, but the overwhelming majority of Google's data is all text based.
Yep.
I mean, because
Well,
it's freaking Google. I mean, yes, they have images. No question about that. And they have a massive advantage in images.
do they have images? Because when you go to Google search, it's like all those images, so they get
they
get to process all those. So they just get
Sure.
the whole internet's worth of internet.
Yes.
What?
But here's the thing. Between the two, if you look at Apple wants to get into artificial intelligence, whatever, search algorithms, that kind of deal. Does it make more sense to deal in images where you have a platform that is arguably all about taking pictures, so on and so forth, or try and get into the search game?
I guess that's my thing. Is like they can't get into the search
can't.
game. What are they? What's
Microsoft
the end,
can't.
What's the end goal here? It's
It's
data.
got to be something image related, clearly.
What? So glasses?
Uh,
What would be the point?
Look, hey.
AR?
I was going to say, Apple has been rumored forever to be getting into virtual reality or augmented reality. And I'm telling you right now, I've mentioned this a bunch of times. I'm a massive proponent of VR. I think it's fantastic. I love it. I use it all the time. If Apple were to get into VR and were to do for VR what they did for smartphones, for music players, for headphones, that kind of stuff, the intelligent design, the design factor, that just the slickness, the platform that just works, all that jazz. Oh man, they're sitting on a gold mine. If they can figure that out, they got
infinite
a
money.
check with a bunch of zeros on the end of it.
I rumored that
Larry, all your EXIF data belong to us.
It's true.
Oh God, I love you for even making that reference. Also, EXIF data is when you take a picture, whether you know it or not, unless you have this specifically turned off, it records things like time of day and in most cases geographic, like latitude and longitude type of information.
That's it. They're going to build profiles on the type of people that use iPhones, where they're located, where they're moving, where they're taking pictures to and from. They're going to use it for Google, or they're going to use it for Apple Maps. They're going to enhance Apple Maps.
That would be interesting. Apple Maps plus social stuff.
I'm telling you.
That would be interesting.
Miss Kathleen Garrity, we have her for 5 minutes. We were just talking about, a lot of stuff. So you have to watch the replay.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, they're
what you
going
did
to
there.
prime the pump for Apple Maps. Like, now that I didn't even think about EXIF data.
No,
they can strip all of that metadata out, and they can draw some significant conclusions by teaming it up with...
There's so much nerd like meta humor going on right now. Everyday Dad says move all zig. Oh, I love that.
You see what I mean?
Yeah,
They're going to take all of that data. They're going to build a profile because they're already going to be able to say this person shot on this iPhone.
Yeah.
This person owns this iPhone.
Yeah.
Here's all the information about this person, the person that they type of frequent,
Sure,
where they
sure,
go,
sure.
where they live, what they've done. I'm telling you, data grab.
Okay, my problem with that, my challenge to your assumption, your proposition there is the fact that Apple has fundamentally been a security-focused, a privacy-focused company. So the idea that they would then suddenly flip around and start basically harvesting the pictures that you send in for this contest and ripping all the data out of there to make some type of weird profile about where its users are seems very fundamentally anti-Apple, like very much against their privacy stance.
Privacy of a person,
Sure.
not of a like if I have a bunch of data and I get all the data that I want, strip out the PI part of it, I strip out the personal information and then throw it away.
Okay.
And now I have this huge set of data about
Where people are.
white men in their mid to late 30s, and I can't put my hand on your shoulder and say
Sure.
white male then there's no data privacy that you have to worry about because it's not really you.
Did you just assume my gender?
I did.
Shouldn't do that.
I apologize.
Anyway.
But you see what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, if the PII and the PI data is gone,
Okay.
but obviously they get it first, but if they go, I'm very
It's-
much
I don't know,
privacy
man. That still
focused,
that seems
you pull
right.
it out and you throw it away, then all you have is just a bunch of data about, men from age 25 to 35 that listen to this type of music. Like, I can't put my hand on the shoulder
Yeah.
of an individual, but I can.
Okay, but
I
you're-
can get a
look,
massive amount of information about a certain.
You're making a lot of assumptions
Oh, I'm
about
making a
data
ton
that,
of assumptions.
about data that could be gathered from a picture. So things
Yeah.
about like music that men our age listen to is not something you're going to gather from a picture necessarily.
No, but it's about the combination of stuff that you get. It's like, if I know that that's shot on iPhone,
Yeah.
cool, got it. Now I get information about that. I know the type of iPhone it is, and maybe I don't know this. Can link it back to
you would know. You would be
to
able
link
to
it
tell,
back to your iPhone.
Okay, that I don't know. You would be able to tell what type of iPhone it was taken on. You'd be able to tell geographic location,
Like
no
data,
question.
music,
Dates,
data.
times.
Yeah.
You would be able to tell all the camera settings. For sure, you can absolutely tell all the camera settings, resolutions, and all that jazz.
I know you can definitely get latitude, longitude. I can pinpoint to where you took the photo.
Yeah.
And look, Google's no saint in this either. You want to really freak yourself out? Let me go ahead and get the link for you from Google Maps. But if you go to Google Maps, maps.google.com, and you go over into the hamburger menu on the upper left-hand side, and you type it, or you look at your timeline, you're going to see a lot of stuff. And don't be surprised if Apple does something very similar to
True.
this. Because what you'll find is every place that you've been, and if you've taken pictures, guess what? They show up too. Now, that's not public, but
okay.
but that is definitely something that they see. This photo thing is a data grab. I'm now, like, the more I think about it, I'm doubling down on
I
it.
don't disagree that it's a data grab.
I've beat a dead horse here.
Yeah, well, I mean a little bit, but I'm curious as to what they're going to do with it. Like that's the one thing that I don't quite. I think facial recognition, I think, is what it's going to come down to.
Because then you can start to train, like, obviously they're going to do the face unlock, and if they just get a bunch of pictures, you can start to make it faster, take off milliseconds from the security key. You know what I mean? Like, if you just get
Yeah.
a little bit better, the user experience is a lot better, but that's going to come at a cost. Like, look, I didn't have to pay to get in the hashtag shot on iPhone. I don't have to pay for that. So you're the product. You're giving
well,
up
yeah.
something for that.
We already know that. Okay.
Am I peeking?
You're not peaking, but apparently we've got a little bit of a delay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if I can fix it from here.
Okay. It's...
I'm gonna try. It's under property.
It is under property. I don't know the new one. I knew in the old way.
Oh god.
I don't know if I'm gonna mess with this.
We
we'll see.
probably would kill something just
All
in
right.
case.
I'm just going to leave it for now. We'll work on it for next time. But hey, I appreciate everybody who reported the audio problems. We'll take a look at it. Okay. Crap. I had another thing. Oh, so Jason brought up. So first of all, there's been a bunch of people that joined the comments. We got to say hey for a second. Of course,
All right, go ahead.
Kathleen Garrity, we love you very much. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Much love.
Andrew Can stopped by.
What? I just pinged him on Twitter. I was like, hey, I was in his live stream right before we started, and I was
Yeah.
like, hey, funny story. I literally just tweeted him during our live stream.
Yeah. I think he showed up and went, hey, your audio video is out of sync, and then he left because...
Peace out.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. But hey, thanks so much for stopping by. Jason out there in the comments, which we also appreciate him.
Yeah, that's right. Team Pixel.
Yeah,
100%.
Team Pixel. Hey,
I'm done.
I'm there with you. With the fabric back case and everything, man. Big Team Pixel fans.
There is a pixel underneath all of this.
In all of this madness, it
This
looks
is-
like your entire phone is in traction. Like
This-
it just got into the world's most ridiculous accident.
It
and-
is. This is a Beast Grip Pro with a Joby Casey Neistat special.
I was gonna say, could you be any more Casey Neistat right now?
At the moment, I could not. Andrew, he's just kidding.
Andrew, hey, look.
hey, don't let you know what? Don't pay
love
attention
you.
to this guy. It's just about me.
I'm just saying, I would
It's-
not be surprised if
it's
somebody
just
came in and
about
went, "Wow, this is trash. I gotta leave."
Well, I mean, you are trash, so let's be real. Anyway, so I'm
come from
going.
a humble place.
I am going to attempt to do some videos with just my phone. I'm proving a point, folks. You got great equipment. You gotta just make the content. Going to be using a lavalier mic. Yeah, foot and mouth is right.
Yeah,
Lavalier
yeah.
mic that's wireless up here. Sounds great. way better than it does.
It sounds remarkably good.
Yeah.
Except for in my house.
Yeah. Anyway.
You know.
Because your house is a black hole.
Black hole sun,
Oh, there's your
don't you come wash
he's always gotta find
away
some
the
type of song to
rain, black hole sun.
And he knows that it drives me insane because no one wants to listen to him sing.
Come, black hole sun, black hole sun.
Okay. Anyway. Phone rumors have been going crazy in the last week.
man.
We are like 1 month out, actually 1 month to the day from MWC 2019. Next month, end of February, I believe it starts on February 24th.
The Sammy event?
No.
No, that's
Mobile World
MWC.
Congress.
I
think it's around there.
Stats,
Anyway.
can you look up when the Samsung event is?
You know what February 24th is?
No.
Since you do this all the time during the Google event, that would be my birthday.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I literally don't
So-
care. I don't care about his birthday.
I never bring it up because I don't care either. Samsung S10 leaks have been going crazy.
I'm
We've seen a
supposed to stick
bunch
to
of
my day
prototypes.
job. Evidently, I am not the best singer in the world.
Kathleen. Look.
Don't make me do it. I'll break another one out. Stats gave me some lyrics. If I should stay,
Also, will you talk about the S10, please?
I would only be in
So the S10, dude,
All right.
Is-
S10.
a bunch of prototypes have come out for the S10.
S10 launch date is February 20th. MWC is February 25th.
Okay.
Through
So
I thought
you
it
were
was on the
wrong.
24th.
So the
Yeah.
20th is the big Sammy event.
Yeah.
I think they're really going to get the Note 9 wrong. Is it a Note 9 or is it
No,
a
it's the
10 now?
S10. Yeah,
The
S10,
S10.
S10 and S10 Plus, which is I mean,
Oh, the
obviously
S10 Plus is what they're gonna
upsize,
get wrong.
So are they? They're combined. They're doing away with Note and just saying now everything is the S. So you've got the S whatever, which is the smaller version of the S10, which is the old Note line. Or are they still
No,
doing
I'm going to
Notes?
bet you they're still going to do the Note. The Note usually comes out later, doesn't it?
Well, fair, but I guess what leaves me scratching my head is, especially in light of how many phone manufacturers are struggling to sell phones, number one. Number two, you've already got the S10 and the S10 Plus, which are premium tier devices.
But it's not
Other
the
than-
multitasking. People want the pen.
And that's the thing. Other than the pen, what does the Note have?
People love that pen.
I get it. I still have a Note 3 around here that still has the pen, and I love that thing. If I could get a newer OS to run on it, like if I could get Pi to run on it,
It would run like trash.
it would run like absolute trash. I can't even say that I would switch to it, but I would at least be tempted to run it for a little bit
It
just
would
to
look so
to
bad.
see.
The problem I have with the S10 Plus, they're going with that the whole pause. They're going
the
with
through and
that-
through.
The through and through. The S10 got it right. The punch out.
No. I think the hole in the corner for the S10 is
For both of them, you're saying they're both wrong.
no. I think the hole in the hole in the upper corner for the S10 is absolutely the way to go. The disappointing thing is you need to make use of, you've got the screen real estate in the upper corner. Make use of that screen real estate. Turn that into a battery display. Turn it into something.
Are we looking at the same one?
Yes,
I'm talking about
that picture right
that
there.
one's great, but
That
this is the S10. This is the S10 Plus.
Right.
The S10 Plus is bad. Like I hate that.
Okay,
design.
so the difference between the S10 and the S10 Plus, the S10 is basically like if you had a hole punch and you punched a hole in a piece of paper and then you took that little piece of paper and set it on top of your phone, the little circle.
That's what it
it's
is.
Slightly smaller than that is the type of, that's the only bit on your entire phone that is not displayable screen, because that is where the camera is. On the S10 Plus, it's basically like 2.5 of those put together. It's like a round, what would that be? Not an oval. Yeah, oval, whatever. It's oblong.
I don't like the oblong. I don't think it's
I
a great
don't-
idea. It's awful. The single hole punch got it great, but what Samsung's
It
trying
looks
to
way
do
better. It really
is
does.
where Google got the Pixel 3 right. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, they put the big notch right there in the middle. Okay, got it. People don't like the notch. I much prefer the notch in the middle than I do what Samsung's doing on the S10 Plus. Not the S10, the S10 Plus.
I don't know.
Yeah, the notch was horrible too, you say. The notch was never horrible. Let me be very clear here. Everyone embraces it because it was never a big deal.
Okay, I think there's a difference between is it a big deal and is it horrible. I don't think that it's a big deal. I think that it's an evolution. It's a design evolution that everyone's going through. Everyone's trying to figure out how to maximize screen real estate, and the technology is what it is. You can only do so much.
I don't think
Now-
what Samsung's doing with the S10 Plus, the bigger version, the oblong version, I don't think that's a good idea. And they're doing it because they want the dual selfie camera. I get it.
Agreed. So first of all, Kathleen Garrity, love you so much. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate you very much. Jason brought up that the notch was horrible. I think that the oblong shape in the S10 Plus is another design evolution, just like the notch was. Is the oblong shape better than the notch? I think that's unquestionable. Yes.
No, not for me. Not where
It's
they put
smaller.
it.
It's
Not where they put it.
substantially
I would
smaller.
rather it be in the middle instead of where it is.
Why? Just because of it's in the battery, like it
it-
moves your battery thing over a little bit.
Like
or-
the whole purpose of the notch.
Yeah.
What everybody says, like, well, it's in the notification shade that's bothering me.
Yeah.
Well, they put the cameras in the notification shade. You just smush the notifications over. Like, you didn't actually gain that real estate in the corner. Everything just smushed over.
Right, but I think
That's my problem.
But to everyone else's point, as far as the notification stuff goes, the real estate that you had on either side of the notch meant that you only got a couple of notifications. By mashing that thing all the way over to the side, now you have this entire uninterrupted space on this side to do things like battery time, notifications, whatever. You get net more screen real estate even on the S10 Plus than you do with the notch.
All right, I can do that.
Yeah, I
don't think it looks good.
Design aesthetics is a completely different story because I also don't think that the notch looks good. I just don't think that it's a big deal. Stats.
It's subjective.
It's subjective.
Thanks, Stats.
Yeah, look, we call that out one a lot.
I'm talking about, I'm complaining about the S10 Plus. The S10
Jason, I love you.
got it right, like, no question.
Jason, I'm drinking the Bell's Porter, by the way.
For me,
it's delicious.
absolutely got it 100% right with the single hole punch. Not going to question that at all. I have a problem with the dual hole punch. That's where my problem is.
The single, no doubt, looks better. I
Yeah,
wish that
that's
they
what I
would
meant.
maybe, ironically, Google is doing more with their single camera on the front than Samsung is
Google
doing.
has dual cameras on the front.
Are they stacked? Or are they side by
No.
side? Even on...
Oh yeah.
Where is the second one?
Not for you, for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. Well, the whole purpose of the dual though,
Yeah.
is to, like, when you're taking that selfie,
Oh, for the depth.
yeah, like you scroll out.
Parallax
That's the purpose.
or
Yeah,
whatever. No.
it's the
Well, it's parallax still, but it's...
it's the
Okay.
no. It's the advanced. You know, when you take a selfie,
Yeah.
you can only get so much. They actually can take a wide angle
Oh,
shot.
right.
That's
I'm
the
with you now.
purpose. Of
Okay,
it now.
I
That's
got
the
you.
purpose of the second
Yeah.
lens. You're
Okay,
right.
well, so what's even funnier about that then is them mashing two cameras side by side limits how wide your shot can get. Well, I don't know, maybe not. You could probably just do like a super fisheye type of thing with the two lenses and capture just as much.
I'm
as
interested
opposed
to know how they-
spacing them out on the.
They're definitely
Nah.
spaced closer together by basically seeing this picture. Way closer together than they are way closer is relative, than the Google, the Pixel 3. So I'm interested to know how they're going to pull that off. Because then if you do a fisheye, then you get weird, like, you get weird stuff on the edges of the photo.
For
People
sure,
look
yeah.
strange. Like, I
Like
know
weird
that's what they're
stretching stuff.
going for, but
Yeah.
to me, it's one of those things like, the single hole punch, I'm on board.
Yeah.
Unequivocally on board. Looks way better than the notch.
Yeah, I think that is the first like.
I'll admit
That's-
that.
That's the first phone I've seen from like the Pixel 1, Pixel 2 era onward. Whatever, it is what it is. That's the first phone I've seen since then that I've really thought looked radically better. Like just the people comment on our videos all the time about the design aesthetics and how Pixel phones look terrible because the chin, the notch. That phone looks sexy.
Which phone?
The single hole punch phone, the
Like,
S10.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, the
looks
Honor did
really
it first,
good.
I think.
Fair. But there's been a whole bunch of other phones that are probably going to be coming out, or at least announced, shown off during MWC 2019, including one that has no buttons,
Bye, Andrew.
no holes, no nothing.
You talking to Meizu?
Yeah,
Mizu?
however you
Is it
say it.
Meizu? 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 So people are getting
That phone
all
looks
over.
crazy.
Like, by the way, people are getting all over MKBHD because it's holeless, right? It says
Yeah.
holeless.
Except for the 2 holes on the top, which is basically the microphone.
It's the microphones. People are like, that's not holeless, guys.
There's no charging port.
Come on.
There's no speaker grills. There's no camera on the front. It is edge-to-edge screen.
Mm-hmm.
It is...
It's edge-to-edge screen, and I think it's edge-to-edge fingerprint detection.
What?
I think.
That's wild.
I
mean,
think.
the phone looks crazy. Like, it looks...
That's awesome.
It looks fake because, like, all the things that you just come to expect in a phone, a la a charging port, it's just not there. But, I mean, it looks cool. Whatever. It's Chinese manufacturer.
Meizu.
I'm
Meizu.
skeptical. I'm sure that it looks really nice, but there's, from what I've seen in a lot of the other kind of cheaper phones or the Chinese manufactured phones, is that there's just not the same attention to quality that's paid to, if not design materials, like the types of materials that they use in the case or in the screen, the interior or the internals, like the SoC that they choose is meh.
845.
Okay. That's good.
No word of the
I'll give them
pricing.
that.
They use a very similar technology from HTC for captive touch buttons.
That would be capacitive, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Is it captive or capacitive? I'm assuming you're saying capacitive touch
Yep,
buttons.
capacitive touch,
Okay.
capacitive sensors.
So
what did I
effectively,
say?
you
Touch buttons?
said captive, and that's what I was like.
Oh.
I don't know if
My
that's
bad.
a thing. But so capacitive touch buttons, basically, it's all of your buttons are on your screen. This is nothing new. We've seen this in countless other phones.
To replace the speaker, the Zero uses piezoelectric transducer.
So, piezoelectric transducers means basically the entire front of the screen sort of acts like a speaker. I can tell you right now, this thing is going to sound like trash. Absolutely awful. And man, I wish we could get our hands on one of those phones just so I could say "told you so." Because I've played with piezoelectric speakers before. They're not good.
Maybe they got it right.
I don't know.
Maybe they got it right.
I don't know.
They can charge at 18 watts wirelessly. That's the
Okay.
fastest on the market.
18 watts.
That's going to get hot.
That is
Real hot.
You.
Like temperature hot.
I was gonna say that's gonna get real warm. You could almost warm up, not warm up food, but you could keep something warmer than what you feel like would be comfortable. 18 watts is a lot of juice. That's a lot of juice.
How long before we have no camera on the phone on the rear and have a camera pod? Boy, I hope that doesn't happen.
Man, I don't know. What?
I really hope that doesn't happen.
I can't imagine. I can see them doing away with the camera on the front before you go to something like a camera pod or something along those lines.
I could get the camera.
Like honestly, I think the direction that modern phones are going with trying to do the edge-to-edge screen is hampered very clearly by the introduction of the selfie camera, and now that's just become a thing that consumers expect. So I think now a lot of phone manufacturers are trying to figure out, crap, it would be way easier if we could just get rid of the selfie cam. How do we deliver on that while still doing edge-to-edge phones? And I think this is a part of the argument for phones that have screens on both sides. Because now I can flip the phone around, and now I have the better quality rear-facing camera, and I can still see what's happening.
that could parlay into a foldable phone.
So there are also a lot of foldable phones that have been talked about outside of just the Royale, which at this point is basically the first one to hit the market.
And it looks bad.
It looks terrible. Xiaomi, which is another well-known Chinese manufacturer, right up there with Huawei, has debuted their foldable phone, which actually looks really cool. It looks pretty clever.
So good. It folds two ways.
Interestingly enough, so it is like a giant kind of squarish tablet, and then when you want it to go into handset mode, you basically fold the sides down, and then it turns into like a regular sized phone with the back basically folded in. So the software still clearly needs a lot of work. I don't know if you've seen the video of, there's a video of one of the guys doing a kind of a demonstration of it. He shows folding the sides down, and for a split second, the entire screen freaks out while it figures out what type of orientation it's supposed to be in. But
I don't know how they're going to fix that problem. Because
I mean,
everything's going to do that.
that's just a matter of design time. It's iteration time with the software. They'll get it right eventually. I'm not concerned about that. I still maintain if you're going to have a foldable screen, how are you... You're eliminating a major industry, first of all, is like screen protectors, cases, stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of people that have companies that would...
Just-
How do you put a case on a phone that folds? How do you put a screen protector on a screen that folds? Case, I guess I could see. You could probably still make like a flexible case or something. Screen protectors, I got nothing on.
Screen protectors I got nothing on at all. Like, it
I don't
almost
know.
went away with the edge-to-edge design, but they modified. They figured it out.
But okay, they're still not that good
No, but I mean,
because like
they got good enough to continue to stay.
I prefer to not have one at this point because even my phone, this Pixel 2 XL, of course, the lip on the edge of my Whitestone Dome. Check out the video in our channel. You made a thing about it, whatever thing. But there's
Super
a
supportive.
lip. There's a lip. Nobody watched it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That is a fact. Nobody watched it. Nobody did. No one watched it. Ironically enough, neither did anyone watch your last week's video.
Accurate, because I didn't put it out yet.
Jerk.
You can't even say shots fired when I didn't put anything out yet. Whatever. Lip on the edge, when you have a screen that has like the contoured edge, you end up getting a lip on your screen protector, which means if you catch it on something, that screen protector is getting ripped off. They break constantly. Mine's breaking pretty good.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Let me see.
Look.
What did
You
you
see-
do?
It's not even like I have a tough job. I have a desk job, and I still just everyday use. They break down over time.
What in
Quickly
the
for me.
world?
Hey,
What?
So Larry says, I would love to see a phone with an e-ink paperback so you could customize the back plate design on the fly. I'm with you. I would love to see e-ink make its way into phones. Least of all because of the battery life considerations. It is fantastic on battery life. I have a Kindle Paperwhite that is an e-ink display that I charge once a month, maybe, tops. How often do you charge yours? Do you still have that
I've
Gen
got a
1?
Fire and it
Oh,
actually
yeah, that's
charges a
different,
lot
yeah.
more than that, but
I mean, just like Jason mentioned it, there's been a couple phones that sold with e-ink on the back.
Yeah.
Just didn't sell.
Agreed.
That's the problem. It's like, great idea, great in theory.
Yeah.
But if it's not going to sell, then the company's going to be like, hard
The ROI is way too hard.
I'm telling you that if you can get a foldable display, that's where you're going to get the cameras
Yeah.
on the back. Like, foldable display, let me use the really good back camera to take a selfie. Yeah. That's what I'm going to guess.
Yeah, that's my pitch too. I think that's the only way that either a foldable phone or a phone with a screen on the front and back makes any sense at all. What I'm curious to see is, of the two design choices right now, which one is going to win, even in the short term, let alone the long term? Is it going to be the dual-sided phone, or is it going to be the foldable phone?
It's going to be foldable.
I think foldable wins long run, but I think there's still some design considerations you have to figure out.
I just don't like the look of the dual. I don't like the look of a foldable phone. Let me
Yeah.
just say that.
Sure.
I like the look of a foldable phone way better than the dual display. Me personally, because it's thick, the real thick.
Okay, the foldable phone is
thick.
thick.
I'm not sure how you're gonna pull it
Like,
off.
real thick.
I'm actually perfectly okay with the way the phones look right now. As is, straight up the candy bar style.
Yeah.
Totally okay with it.
I mean, I don't think there was anything particularly wrong with it, but I think it's so this is the same type of problem that TV manufacturers have run into for a long time. At some point in time, your product hits ubiquity. You just, everyone has a TV. And there's just not that much of an incentive to go from, which is kind of the problem that we've run into, well, they've run into now, is to go from standard definition to widescreen or HD 720p. Okay, that, you're talking 4:3 aspect ratio to 16:9. Sure, you can convince people to do that. 720p, cool, you can convince people to do that. 720p to 1080p. Okay, yeah, that's demonstrable. You can see a difference between 720p and 1080p. 1080p to 4K. Okay, that's a tougher sell. Does 4K look better? Yes. Only when you compare it next to 1080p.
Correct.
For the vast majority of people, if you just show them 1080p and you say that it's 4K,
They'll buy it.
they'll buy it.
Just straight up
They'll
lie.
absolutely buy it. And so TV manufacturers have had a real tough time convincing people to continue to buy new TVs. So short of doing engineered obsolescence in your product, how do you convince people to go out and spend more money on 4K, 8K?
The 8K I don't get. Like, I don't know how you're going to convince somebody to do that one.
Yeah.
Because the content that made there is just not there.
Well, there's really no content.
There's just
in
not
8K.
there.
It's just not there at all.
My thing is I am more than willing to sacrifice foldable phones and dual screen phones. I will sacrifice that 10 times out of 10 if
Yeah.
they take all the dollars from that
Yeah.
and dump it into battery.
But I hear you. But
Dump
that's
that
not-
into the battery.
It's not a problem of you just need more money for. Like this is quintessential research and development, and you're running up against laws of physics. I mean, there is some promising battery technology that's come out. There was quantum dot technology that was a research project that was done quite a few years ago at this point, that had full charge in 10 minutes type of grand claims. But this is stuff that's still in the lab. Like they haven't even really finished the research on it, let alone figured out how to manufacture it en masse. Let's think about how long it took them to really get lithium polymer ion batteries out, which now lithium ion is pretty much everywhere. But it's going to be a little while before we start to see kind of the next generation of batteries.
That's where I would be completely okay if like there was some type of consortium made with all the phone manufacturers, and they say, look, they're all going to look real close to the same for like 3 years, and we're going to dump a boatload of money in just battery technology. All together, never going to happen. By the way, this is never going to happen. This is greenfield, blue sky.
Yeah.
But then and only then, if you can get days between charges and things like that, you can get good now. Like they're getting very good at writing their operating systems to run very lean and mean. Cool. But if you could just take that battery technology up just a skosh.
Yeah.
That's really where, like, to me, that's the next big thing.
Well, what's funny is the battery technology has improved radically, but as battery capacity increases, so does processor demand.
Yeah.
If it's not processor, so bigger screens, stronger processors, more powerful antennas, things like Bluetooth, plus the addition of wireless, plus high resolution displays or applications that run all the time. Like as we scale up,
Multiple displays.
displays.
That's the thing is like the foldable phone is going to create a problem of power. Like you just have more screen.
Yeah.
More screen equals more power.
More power
you just have to do it. Like to me, it's like, okay, hang on. I would love to double down on the battery technology. I would love it.
Well, so the fact that everyone is doubling down more and more on let's change the format of the phone instead of introducing, hey, we're the first phone to have X battery technology, tells you how far away we are from having a radically new battery technology out there. I mean, it's just we're easily 5 to 10 years away from kind of the next generation of batteries.
And I'm bummed about that.
Oh, I am too. I'm significantly bummed because battery, if you don't have power, you forget about it.
Your phone's useless.
Any device. I mean, like battery technology is so essential to almost every device that we have on the market right now. No question. I mean, very, very few people rely on things that plug in. I'm one of the handful of people that still rely on a desktop. It's like me and the super nerds that still play PC games. Everyone else is like, I play Fortnite on my phone. You're not a real person. You're a child and dumb. Play on a real thing. I don't know.
Jeez, Jason, don't worry about typing, man. Thanks so much for making the donation. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
Modern Day Tech, welcome to the show.
Happy to see you, buddy.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. The battery thing for me is the big one.
Battery's huge.
Battery and camera.
We're a long way away from that.
Camera and battery. Give me the ability to get
camera. I think we've hit about peak camera too. How much better does a camera have to get on a phone to be that much better than the previous generation?
No, now I'm talking about, now I want them to target the DSLRs. I want them to specifically target DSLRs. There's stuff that I can do on my Canon that I can't do on my phone. And I'm very, I speak very highly of my phone, but my Canon takes, their pictures are so good.
Okay,
So good.
part of that comes down to size of the sensor. Part
I
of it
know.
comes down to size of the lenses,
Uh-huh.
and again, all those things are going to affect the overall size of the phone.
I know.
So,
Well, you know, I was gonna double down on the red stuff, like
Yeah.
the red phone. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna get some red camera technology. Trash.
yeah,
That phone is trash.
it's really not good.
Although, if you want to send us one,
I won't say no.
I wouldn't say no. I know our good friend TK Tech got one.
Did he really
He did.
buy one himself?
I
Or
don't
did
know
he
about that.
get a review?
I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
Red, if you want to send us one, because you're totally
'Cause you're
watching,
totally watching our show.
at 9:10 p.m. on Eastern Coast time.
The
You're
DSLR.
not watching the show, but look, I'll give it a shot.
Jason also brings up mirrorless. It would have to be mirrorless is the only way that you could possibly get anything small enough to fit inside of a phone, and even then, you would basically have to take a phone and then stretch it out lengthwise across the entire camera. You're doubling the thickness of the phone, almost no question. I don't see it happening. I just fundamentally don't.
I'm
see
trying
it
to think,
happening.
like, would I rock a phone that's thick if I could get my Canon level pictures? Pixel 4 comes out
It's double the thickness.
double the thickness?
It's double the thickness, but you can easily take pictures that are on par with full
Give me your
frame
phone.
Canon.
Double the thickness.
Double the thickness, ladies and gentlemen. Double the thickness, double your fun.
Double mint gum. Oh, that is a thick phone.
That's a
Woo! That is a thick
phone.
I mean, that's like a battery pack.
yeah,
Well, okay, so that's fair. This is like a Zero Lemon.
yeah.
It's heavy.
I bet it's.
This is heavy. Like, that's got some heft to it.
Yeah, you're not taking pictures one handed. You're gonna be like, oh god.
Kind of like, I'll be honest. I thought I would hate it. I thought I'd be like,
He's already selling himself on it, ladies and gentlemen. Scott, master of selling.
I'm telling you,
BS
I thought
to
I was
himself.
gonna hate this. I don't hate it.
Pre-order number 1
I
for the
don't.
Google Thick.
I don't. Google thick. I don't
Google
hate
4T.
this. I don't hate it. I mean, it's thick. I'm not sure. Like, if I put this in my pocket, maybe we'd be talking. I mean, Gray's sweatpants.
Hey, Google. Here you go. There's your business idea right there. You want more images? That's how you do it. Make a DSLR competitor. Get the Casey Neistats and the Peter McKinnons and the Scott Peachies on board with it.
Dude, I will rock it. Straight
I'm
up.
sure- I know you would.
Oh,
I
you
know
know,
you would.
unquestionably.
Here's the problem. You would do it on principle alone. Not
Oh,
because
yes.
it's necessarily a better camera. You would just do it just because.
I was the person who said 18 months. Well, not 18 months. That's not fair. 12
Over
months.
$1,000 for a camera? No
Oh,
question.
yeah, no question.
For an all-in-one device, you were in.
I was in.
Yeah.
I said $1,200 for the red was not a bad price. Now, hindsight being 2020, $1,200 if they would have gotten the camera right wouldn't have been bad.
Agree. Oh,
But they
okay.
got it bad.
So
real bad.
So let's get to real speculation here. Their first phone was
trash.
I mean, by no stretch of anyone's imagination, it was an absolute flop. Do they go for another one?
No.
So you think they're out? You think they
No,
did their?
they'll team
one
up
and
with
done.
somebody. They'll put red technology in something.
Okay. Oh, that would be cool.
You talk about.
Hey,
you want to talk
Google.
about? Hey, yeah. Hey, Google. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you use red technology and Google-powered AI photos, oh,
That would be.
no.
But again,
Oh, I'm just gonna make noise. Oh my god.
how much red hardware could you really fit into a phone? I mean, because it can't be just software.
Well, how did they fit it in the phone that they had?
Well, I think that's part of the reason why it got lambasted in its reviews. It
Well-
was not a good sensor. I think they underestimated
Was it a
the
not
design
good
considerations.
Was it a not good sensor or a bad optimization OS? Like, they got a lot of data. The hardware was fine.
Mm-hmm.
They just vastly underestimated the OS or the application specific camera.
fair? So that is possible. Like, obviously, Red understands sensors, but again, they do giant sensors for their cameras. I mean, big sensors for their cameras. So I speculate that it's probably a combination of both of them. Did they?
Greg is looking dead at the camera
And
when
it's
it
back.
froze, and
Did it come
you're
back?
staring at him.
Evidently it's back. We should probably just end the stream just in case.
I mean, we probably should.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
there we go,
that's
we're
it. We're back. Hey, we're going to end the stream now.
Yeah, might as well. Apparently, that's the internet signal to shut up and let these people have their evening back. I mean, it's 9:15. We did all right. We did an hour.
All right, go and hit them with your socials
Hey!
just in case we're back, because I don't know if we are.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. You can find me on Twitter. I am at Ominous Hominid.
At Scott Peachy.
I thought you were gonna make fun of me.
That's off camera.
Yeah.
At the Scott Peachy on Instagram for now.
On the gram.
For now.
For
Still
now.
doing my shot on iPhone so they can do something with my data. Still
This
doubling
guy.
down on that.
This guy over here. Don't forget to stop by next Thursday for our next live show. As always, same bad time, same bad channel. You can check out my review of a robotic vacuum cleaner. That's right. Early tease there. That will be coming out as soon as I finish it. I actually have the footage done, and it's going out. I don't care what it sounds like, and it doesn't sound the best, but
It doesn't sound bad.
it doesn't sound bad. It could sound better, but yeah, it's going out because I got more videos piling up, man. I got a production schedule to maintain, and my boss over here is kind of a jerk. Won't leave me alone. Won't give me a day off.
Literally not said any of those things. Literally haven't said none of those things.
All right,
We didn't talk
everybody.
about the Casey Neistat video that got you reinvigorated. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. We'll get to that one. You got anything else?
No, I have nothing.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Thanks.